Hey guys, it's Larsen here, and in today's video I want to talk about how you can quickly and efficiently level up a new world. I would say that if you're a brand new player, this is probably not the guide for you, as I think if you're playing the game for the very first time, you should explore the game. You should make mistakes, and then this is a guide for people that have maybe played some of the betas and they want to see how they can improve once they already explored and maybe don't know the best way to level. With that out of the way, if you want to see more content like this, please like to the video. You can also subscribe to the channel. Before we jump into things, because I prepared a lot of things for today, I have made a full document here that I will share with you guys in the bio with step by step what you can do all the way to level 60. So I'll be sharing that, and we're gonna talk about everything, but it's a lot of information, so I think it's important that you can also have it somewhere in text. We're gonna start out with some tips and tricks that are gonna be really good to do. Some of them for the beginning in the early levels 0 to 20, and some of them is tips that you can do throughout the entire game. Number one tip: you should pick up all journals you see. The more journals you pick up, the more XP you get from them, and you can just read them by clicking T. Pick up all herbs you see, especially in the beginning. One hyssop that you get from the herbs plus one water will give you a weak health potion if you craft them. You should pick up all the iron that you see early, because you can make iron tools straight away, and they're a lot better than the flint tools that you have. You're gonna need 152 iron, 40 wood, and 24 rawhide to make a full set of iron tools. This is gonna help you with gathering a lot, and it's great. Another thing, for the main quest, you need to get the 30 gathering. For the main quest, that requires 3 Rera quest stem, 3 petal caps, and 3 water. You cannot craft these potions before you get the quest from the quest giver up in Everfall, but after you get the quest, you can just place a campfire down right next to her and craft them there, and you'll be good to go. So don't try to craft the potions ahead of time unless you have a couple of extra materials. Nextly, you need 10 in mining to craft the 5 silver ingots, which is 20 silver. And that's all the things you need for the main quest that we know this far. Fast traveling is depending on how much character weight you have. So before you fast travel, I like to stash my items to be conservative on my asset. I think asset is very valuable. So before you fast travel, just try to stash, or if you have a lot of excess items on you, if there's some you want to sell, some you can delete, you can try and limit your weight a little bit. You should pick up fast travel shrines. They're great. They'll help you move around the map, especially for the main quest. So when you go around in leveling zones, make sure to pick those up. Whenever you return to a city, you should pick up new PvE faction missions. PvE faction missions are the ones that are in the top row, and the bottom row when you open the faction guides, the PvP ones. The PvP ones gives a lot less XP, so they're not really worth doing. Unless you just want a PvP, but you'll get a lot extra XP from the PvE faction missions, so always pick those up whenever you return to your settlement. Oh, I'm flexing here. I'll skip forward. You don't need to PvP flag. PvP flagging don't give you any extra XP besides from gathering and killing monsters. If you're in a settlement, you don't get any XP from the PvP flag from the missions and stuff. Every settlement has honey. That can be a secondary ingredient in cooking, so you should always pick up honey in settlements. And Windsword, Monarch, and First Light has a cow that you can milk once an hour, and that will give you milk, which you can turn into tier 1 rations, which is great for getting food early on. And for the territory standings, I pick XP, then storage, then standing, then gathering, but feel free to do as you like. Now, knowing all these tips, you should be able to have enough food from the honey, from the milk. You should be able to craft other potions to sustain throughout the early stages, and you know everything you need to know for the main quest. Now let's talk about level 1 to 5. As soon as you create your character and you get in, if you hit escape and go to the top right in the game menu, you can skip the intro and get directly to the beach without having to learn how to move left, right, left click, block, all those things. That's great. Once you get to the beach, you want to pick up at least 4 flint and then 4 wood and craft all the tools straight away. The first quest is to kill 3 monsters. The second quest is to kill a boar. I recommend that you kill 2 boars straight away and skin both of them, since you're gonna need the rawhide once you go to your first settlement. After you're done on the beach and it asks you to go to a settlement, on the way to the settlement, you should make sure that you have 45 wood, 40 stone, 16 rawhide, and 1 flint. The reason for that is while you're in the settlement, it will ask you to refine these materials for the quest in order to progress, and you can just pick them up on the way so you don't have to leave the settlements once you get there. Once you refine these materials, you will be given a satchel, and they will ask you to refine iron. I personally am gonna... Oops, one step first. You're gonna be asked to craft a sword with this iron that you smelt into iron ingots, and you'll be left over with enough materials to craft an additional weapon. Personally, I will always craft a great axe here, but if you plan on playing with something else then you can craft, you can go ahead and craft a tool with the excess materials. And I recommend you craft either the sickle to get the harvesting really done, or get the harvesting done quicker, or a mining pickaxe to start get some of all the iron you need for finishing the rest of the tools. So either craft a weapon that you want to use, or craft a tool straight away before you leave the settlement. You'll have enough materials to do that. Now, we need to talk about how zones and monster levels work in New World. The best way I can explain it is very familiar to The Witcher. The first time I played The Witcher 3, I was like, okay, this area is really cool. I followed the main quest to an area, and then I went across the road, and the monsters across the road from the quest that just stood, they one-shot me. They were way higher level than me. And it's to some extent a little bit the same scenario with New World. So if you take all the starter zones, they vary from level 1 to level 25. But you cannot stay in a zone from level 1 to level 25. You have to go between the 4 zones: Monarch, Windsward, First Light, and Everfall, and sometimes come back to them later. So in the first zone, you do level 1 to level 12, and as soon as you start getting quests that are 3 to 4 levels higher than your character, it is time to move on to the next zone and do all the quests there. The reason for that is side quest in this game often unlocks just based on your character level. So even if you were to spend time doing the quest that is going to be a lot higher than your character level, you wouldn't get any new quest afterwards because you wouldn't be a high enough level to be eligible to get them. So it's a good way to say, okay, my quests are now anywhere between 3 and 5 levels higher than me. I can just go to the next zone and come back later when I've gotten a few more levels. My prioritization of doing the zones is depending on where I spawn. I want to go to First Light, then Monarch, then Windsward, then not save Everfall until I start doing the main quest. The reason for that is a lot of the main quest ends up in Everfall, and before you end up in Everfall, you can pick up all the fast travels for it. Now I'll just bring this up on screen because it's a lot of information here. But once you're level 18, you've done First Light, Monarch, Windsward, and you're about to go to Everfall. I've made a step-by-step here of how you can do it. This is optional. If you PvP flag, you gain extra XP for turning in quests outside of a settlement. So let's say we go to the dock where the hermit is. You wait 30 seconds. You're now PvP flagged in the open world. Now you'll get XP bonus from having PvP flag on while you turn in a quest. But this only works outside of settlements. So I thought I'd put that in. People not know it. Step 0. You want to stash all excess items so you can keep fast traveling. Step 1. Do the main quest at the ruins between Everfall and Monarch. Pick up all quests in Everfall and do the main quest together with the side quest there. Then we go to Monarch, then we go to First Light, then we go to Monarch again. And then the main quest will line up with your Everfall quest, and you can do them all in sync. And it's going to feel really good. You're going to go from level 18 to level 20 in the matters of like 30 minutes if you keep fast traveling back and forth. And it feels really, really good. Now from level 22 to level 25, you can just do leftover quests that you have. It could be Everfall, it could be Windsward, it could be Monarch. But at level 23, you should start thinking about doing the main quest in Amrite Expedition and not before. At level 23, you unlock a repeatable quest from a quest giver called Archimedes, which is a wolf outside of the expedition, and you'll get 4.6k base XP from doing it on top of what you're already getting from all the other quests you're turning in. And that scales with the XP in the standing zone and PvP flag since it's not in the settlement. You can get some really good added XP if you just wait until level 23. Now, let's just say we've done all the main quests in the starting zone, we've done all the quests in the starting areas, and we're around level 25. This is where things get really, really awkward. I'm gonna bring up this image here. As you can see, Monarch's Bluff is, well, these are all like 1 to 25. I think Everfall is also 1 to 25. But Brightwood, Cutlass Keys, and Reaver's Fen, they're all a lot higher level than you get from doing things in the starting zones. And if you go to Cutlass Keys at level 27 or Brightwood at 27, you will not have enough quests to get enough experience points to like level naturally and progress through. So now you're getting introduced to something that I call filler experience points. When Cutlass Keys becomes good, when Brightwood becomes good, and when Weaver's Fen becomes good, is if you get 3 or 4 levels higher than the recommended level in said zone. Because by then you get enough side quests unlocked that you can progress for a long time. If you go at the minimum level, you get like one quest, you do that quest and you don't get a level, and you're like, oh, what do I do now? So you need to do filler experience points for the leveling to feel smooth and efficient. What can filler experience be? There's a few methods. As a solo player, I look at it this way. You have town board missions, or you can AoE mob grind non-elites in an area. If there's no other players in the area, if you can find a spot where there's monsters without a lot of ranged monsters, and things are great. But if you're in a group, there's a few more methods. You can do expedition rotations, like we mentioned with Bachymedes. If you have 5 guys, you have 5 keys, you can do the dungeon multiple times. You can grind elite monsters. They're pretty juicy if you do it in a full group, so maybe try and get a group to do elite monsters, or you can do the corrupted breaches. Those are the forms of the filler XP that you're gonna have to do a lot after you hit level 25. I recommend that you get from level 25 till level 29 or 30 by doing filler XP. And then you should do everything you can in Brightwood until the quest are 5 levels above you. Then you move to Cutlass and do every quest there is until they are 5 levels above you. Then you do everything in Reaver's Fen until the quests are 5 levels above you. And now you can return to Brightwood and complete all the rest of the quests. There is something that are called elite quests, and you can only do those in a group, otherwise you have to skip them. Return to Cutlass Keys and complete the rest of the quest, and only do the elite ones in a group, and the same for Weavers. You go back. So basically you visit them once, you go do all the quests, and then you do the 3 zones that are in that level, and then you return. Now, for me, I've leveled to 60 multiple times in all the testings, and after Weaver's Fen, the leveling experience just feels kinda bad. 0 to 25, you have a seamless experience where you can just do quests the entire way. Then you have to do a little bit of filler XP, and then you can get, you know, 7-8 levels from doing Brightwood, Cutlass, and Reaver's Fen. But after that, the leveling zones just has felt worse, feel lackluster. So you're gonna have to do a lot of filler XP, and the only times it really makes sense to go to, for example, Restless Shore. If you go here at 41, you don't have enough quests, so you want to be level 43 at least. Basically, for all the rest of these zones, if you look at the recommended level, right? Morningdale makes sense when you're in between like 44 and 50, so level 47, 48, it's good. Restless Shore, 43. Great Cleave, you can do some quests at level like 43-ish, and then the rest of them you have to do at 50. And it's like, these zones are just like bad. Now, they will introduce more main quests, but you're gonna have to do a lot of filler XP. And I only recommend going to the zones once you're way higher level than like the starting recommended, just because otherwise you won't have enough quests to make it worth your time. So I don't want to go too much into detail of them, but I have written in the guide, so you can check that out. We will get more main quests after the Depths dungeon, and maybe the main quest will be able to tie things more together. But as of right now, you're gonna have to do a lot of filler XP after around level 37 to level 38 in order to reach level 60. It is what it is, and that's all I have for you. I hope I could teach you guys a thing or two. I recommend reading the guide because it's so much about moving around, being at the place at the right time, and it might help you. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you have any tips or tricks, feel free to leave them in the comment below. If you have any questions for me, I always answer the comments, and I hope I'll see you guys in the next video. Goodbye, bye bye.